So today, in a bit of wind, I hope you can hear me, a little on spiritual bypassing and why self-help, spiritual work, all that kind of thing can actually keep you really stuck, and that healing really happens in the real world with getting on with life and gradually revealing our true potential. And I think this for me is pivotal for us high achieving Gen X women, because I think self-development can really feed into our perfectionist tendencies, so that it becomes yet another thing that we have to do to the best level, to perfection. I remember when I was doing the Miracle Morning every morning, I made sure it happened. I kept a gratitude journal for about 5 or 6 years every day, and if I missed a day, because I was just too tired, I used to do it on an evening, if I missed a day I'd catch up, be racking my mind trying to remember those things to be grateful for. So I keep having to look down, but I am on Dog Toilets Alley, as I like to call it, where some people seem to bring their dogs to the toilet here and don't take it home with them. So, however, what is beautiful here is that we are, can you see, we're planting a little, I can't make you see it, planting a little wood here. So this is part of the tree planting stuff that's going on in my town at the moment. So eventually here there'll be a little wood, and hopefully you can see some of the little trees behind me as we walk along. Absolutely gorgeous. They're really coming on now, quite a lot of them. So anyway, back to the subject. Little guided tour I like to give you as we go along here. So and so for me that was it just fed into another kind of thing where I thought I was going to find my self-worth, that if I did enough self-development stuff, if I did enough practices, first of all I would feel differently. That was ultimately the aim, but also I think underpinning that was, yes, I'm a better person if I'm doing all this sort of self-development stuff. I'll be a better person as a result, or I am just a better person for doing it. And I actually think, I think I probably used to, here's a bit of rawness here, but I probably used to look down on people who were not doing so well in life and who weren't doing all these tools and techniques. Not very good at all. And there was an entanglement with all this self-development, and it can be the same with spiritual conversations. And how I'm seeing it at the moment is that, through the work I've been doing myself with the lovely Clare Downham, who is, I've been in her membership just for a little while this year, and it's been fantastic. But she's talking a lot about the wants, what do you really want in the world? In the world of form, what do you actually want? Do you want better business? Do you want a promotion? Sorry, we've hit some really serious mud here. I'm trying to get past. Do you want a promotion? Do you want a relationship? Do you want more money in the bank? Whatever it is, and then to really question that want, because I think when we ask for a want, when we say why or what for or what's the reason behind it, so often it's the answer is because I'll feel better in some way. I'll feel better if I have it. And so when we go into the world, and this is to me where the true healing can happen, and we start doing the things, we're going to butt up against our conditioning, unavoidably. At the moment I'm butting up against a lot of mud, which I'm trying to get around. We will butt up against our conditioning, because we can't not. As we start to do things that are going outside our perceived comfort zone, we will come up against discomfort. So let's try and I'll talk about that in terms of an example. So for me, there was a lot of resistance initially about kind of putting myself out there into the world, and the result of that was that if I went to go do any of that kind of stuff, I procrastinated like a boss. I was chatting to my fiance the other day and we were saying, I think I could have the gold medal for procrastinating. I'd let him have the silver maybe, but we'd probably be fighting over it. We were just joking about it, but that's what would happen. So I'd kind of get this sense, this is the thing to put out there, this is the thing to say, this is the thing to share with the world, you know, and then this awful feeling would come up. There would be this massive resistance, and then what I would do is I would go off to explore that in some kind of like spiritual way, or do a meditation, or just take some time out, or whatever. Like I would go off and I guess it will just procrastinate. I was using the self-development stuff and the spirituality as a means to not feel the feeling. Now, the issue with that is that yes, those tools and techniques can bring some kind of temporary relief, but then we have to keep going back to do them again and again. And in the meantime, are we getting those new clients? Are we growing our business? Are we getting that promotion? Are we asking that person out? Are we going on out a date? Are we filling our bank balance? No, we're not. we're off doing some kind of practice to try and make ourselves feel okay so that we can then do that. Now, I have made a video about waiting to feel okay before you do things, so that might be a good follow-on to this one if you think this one's helpful. But that can just end up in, I mean, for me, that was just a cycle of continually going to try and manage my feelings. Now, these days, I tend to just spot it a little bit faster, and I have noticed that I have just started to do more things from a place of discomfort, like sit with the feeling, Claire, and then do the flipping thing. Yes, this looks like, the other day I'm trying to move my website, and there's a lot of kind of technical bits and pieces, and I keep going down very dark rabbit holes, and it's all a bit exhausting sometimes, and I have to keep going, come on, you just got to keep going, like, you know, and just keep moving in the direction of the creation in the world. And what I notice is, like, the healing is happening without me actually needing to do any real healing work. Yes, I still listen to the lovely teachers that I love, like Clare Downham and Amy Johnson, and I still, you know, I still explore this understanding. I do it because it's actually very pleasurable for me these days. But there's not this sense of, oh, I've got to fix this thing before I can do something in my business. So, and what I've noticed is that now some things that used to be really difficult are now just don't have the same energetic charge to them, because I've done them so many times now. The healing has happened. Like whatever, so let's say when I was a child, somebody told me, you're ridiculous when you stand up and speak, or laughed at me in class or something. And then that transferred into a voice in my head that says, no, you can't go on a video on YouTube because you can't do that. And then, you know, I could have then, and I did do this for a while, try to go back, resolve the memory, try to fix it, try to then do some tools and techniques so that I can do a video. But actually, I think just one day I did a video live, and it was fine, and there was a bit of that, you know, but then I did it, and then I did it again, and then I did it again, and you know, if you followed me for a while, you'll know that I used to do a live on LinkedIn every single morning. It came live on YouTube as well every single morning. I did that for about 3 years, every weekday. So that it doesn't really matter what happened to me as a child now. Who cares? Who cares if somebody was mean to me? I don't need to go and explore that. I don't need to spend time trying to resolve that. I don't need to do a tool and a technique to try and make myself feel better. I can just get on with doing things. And I do think that the real healing happens when we start moving towards the things that we really want in life, because it has to. In order for those things to manifest, in order for those things to appear, we have to move into the world and take action. And it is from that taking of action that the healing really happens. I think it's just we're just encouraged to spend too much time playing around in our psychology and messing about with it, when actually we are action-taking, creative beings, and when we start to take action, a lot of these things just fall away. You know, does it matter that somebody was mean to me when I was a kid and I stood up in class? Well, not really. It's just not relevant at all anymore. Now, I do think, you know, being in a conversation like this, exploring things like the Thriving Woman approach can help us to just understand. This is about understanding the system. Like when I understand, oh, that's just some old conditioning. It's making me feel a bit weird about doing this video. So what? Then I can still make the video. As long as I'm not making some meaning up about the feeling. And that's where the change really comes in. It's the perspective shift. It's seeing that feeling is not what we thought it was. So hopefully that's a bit helpful. And if it was, give it a like. And if you'd like to hear more, then obviously do the old subscribey thing. I'm so efficient about this stuff, aren't I? But anyway, yeah. And what a beautiful, look at the blue sky today. It's proper beautiful autumn day. So take care, my lovelies. Have a fabulous day. Bye.